Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest HD. We're with Mark Mays, Democratic challenger for Congress here in Eastern Washington. He's running against Cathy McMorris-Rodgers, and he will be one of the top two in the race after yesterday's primary.
Well,
congratulations. You survived. I guess that's half the battle, isn't it?
Well, I think for the primary, it's all the battle.
Yeah, no question.
I'm very pleased with having
Well, you garnished 20% of the vote, and we were talking off camera, and you're actually happy with that. Why?
Well, I'm happy with that because so much of the primary is name identification, and my name is not as widely known as some other people. Plus, when you look at the total Democratic vote, it's 33%, which is not a bad place to start. Particularly when you have a race, we've got 40% of people who are voting in the primary. We expect over 90 in the presidential race because it's such a pivotal year for America.
On that note, since you're not a known quantity, I mean, what do you think you offer the voters? I mean, you're not a professional politician. Why should we vote for you?
Well, I think the fact that I'm not a professional politician, I think, might be one of the reasons to vote for me. But I think I have a lot of life experience that I think is helpful. I've been very blessed with some training as a psychologist and as an attorney. Although I don't practice law, I know a lot about health care. Been on the board of trustees, which oversees Eastern Washington University, and very active in the community. I've raised 5 kids, so I understand what it means to deal with some challenges.
On that note, your psychology background, you probably know the healthcare system better than anybody. Talk about what changes you want to make.
Well, I think we have to change how we view healthcare. We view healthcare now as almost like a commodity. You know, if it's like a car. If you can afford a car, you buy the car. If you can't afford the car, well, I guess you're going to have to walk. And healthcare is a lot different than that. I think we need to change how we view it gradually and fairly, so that people start to view it a lot more like education, that we all have a collective interest in having a healthcare delivery system that makes sense and is cost efficient.
Would you be for universal health care?
At some point, I think we need to move towards that, but that's such a simple term for such a complicated issue. I even wrote a book that dealt with this, and I serve on the faculty of the medical school. I'm a clinical professor at the University of Washington on a part-time basis with our psychiatry program here. So really aware of how intricate the problem is. It doesn't mean everybody gets all health care for free, but what it does mean is that we have basic health care that's handled in a way so that people are rewarded for keeping patients healthy rather than reacting once they get sick.
I know you've got a lot of issues on your website. Please tell us that address if you could, if people want to learn more about you.
Sure, I'd really love to have people check us out at votemarkmays.com. That's M-A-R-K-M-A-Y-S, markmays.com, votemarkmays.com. And we're updating that to give more specificity so people can know what they're voting for.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck in the upcoming election. Mark Mays, he's going for Congress right here in Eastern Washington.